Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's Daryl here. It is bright and freaking early, man. You know it. It's 3 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, let me fill you in where I'm at this morning. I said this in another video. When I do a video every day, I don't check the comments right away. I don't check the comments. I don't check the views. I usually don't do that for at least 24 hours. Like the next day when I go to download a video, I'll see how many views the previous day. That's the first I start to see how the previous day did 24 hours later. I don't start reading your comments until about 48 hours later, 24 to 48 hours later. I kind of let them simmer. I want to get the positive. I want to get the negative. I want to get them all kind of together. I don't want to start commenting. I don't want to start handling them or talking about them until the good portion of them are in. Okay, this is where we're at this morning. I have an app on my phone that it notifies me for every comment that you guys give me. It doesn't tell me what you guys said. I don't look at what you guys said yet. I wait for that. But I'll see your YouTube the circle pop up with your initial or your picture or whatever that you commented. And I have gotten more comments in the last 24 hours, I think, than I've probably ever gotten. I don't know. There's got to be at least 100 comments from. It's still going off. It's still going off this morning. That's what I'm saying. So later today, I believe I'm going to go through and see what all these comments are about. I have a feeling that it's not about the Mike, the situation in Sorrentino, and what I talked about yesterday. I have a feeling that's not it. That what everybody's commenting about. I have a feeling that everybody's commenting about the Scientology underspace audit video that I talked about, that I didn't like it, the way this guy, like I said, I live on the East Coast, and honestly, Scientology is not a thing here. It's not a big thing. I think on the West Coast, it's a lot more prominent. There's a lot more talk about it. The way I see Scientology is we have freedom of religion in this country, and there's cults, and if people are that gullible and they want to join a cult or worship whatever, then that's their right. That's how I feel about Scientology. It's not something I would ever go for or agree with or do myself, but if other people, if that's their thing, God bless them. I wouldn't go on the streets and harass people over it. But the thing that really bothered me, like I said in that video, is the way he treated this person like an outcast. He was it's like he wanted everybody to jump or to mock or to, he wanted this person to be attacked, because he was just trying to pick at anything. First of all, and like I said, there was it would look like mosquito bites on his shin, and I've never seen anybody inject on their shin, and he's just grasping at straws of why he wants to. He's making fun of this guy. It's like so juvenile. Anyway, I've already talked about that, and I have a feeling that a lot of Scientology underspace audits 80,000 subscribers probably aren't happy with me, and they probably commented yesterday. I'm guessing. I usually got a pretty good feel when I get comments like that. I usually got a pretty good feel, and I am guessing that's what it was. And if that's what it is, I'm going to do another video. This is the point I'm making this afternoon. And once I go through and read the comments, what the big hubbub was, because a lot of people commented on my channel yesterday, more than I think I've ever commented before. What I do want to talk about today is the big news that Donald Trump was kicked off the ballot in Colorado. Now, the way I understand this, now Beau, the fifth column, understands this a lot better than me. Beau, the fifth column, is what I consider my mentor. I mean, without him, he put up one of my videos, and that video got 170,000 views, and that's what launched my channel. That's why I have monetization, is because of Beau, the fifth column. And I love the dude, and I want to see what he has to say. I have a good understanding of what happened of Trump getting kicked off the ballot. What I think is happening here, it's under the 14th Amendment in Section 3. And because an elected official attempted to have an insurrection or insurrect the government, the Constitution, to overthrow the Constitution of the United States, that he is kicked off. He can no longer hold office. That's the gist of it. That's the way I understand it. Like I said, Beau, the fifth column, would say it a lot better than me. Okay. Now, the way I understand this was the Colorado Supreme Court. And like I said, Republicans always talk about how they love having each state decide for themselves. They like it until they don't like it. So I think this is going to go now. This is their decision, the Colorado Supreme Court. Now it goes to the United States Supreme Court, the highest court in the land. And the way I understand this is I think they could overturn the Colorado Supreme Court's decision. And I guess they can force Colorado to put Donald Trump back on the ballot. That's the part I'm not sure of. That's the question I want to ask. You guys tell me. Like I said, I'm not going to profess to know everything here. Do I agree with this? Of course, I despise Donald Trump. I always have. I went to Trump Tower before he was ever a politician. I shook Donald Trump's hand back when he wrote his first book about 30 years ago on a visit to New York City with my girlfriend. We went to Trump Tower, and he was coming down. They had a table set up down in the first floor of Trump Tower, and he came down and signed his book, and I actually shook this guy's hand. This was back in I think it's like 1986, I'm guessing. And back then, nobody. It was like a circus. He was like a sideshow. He was kind of, he was one of many jokes. And now, people worship him. Okay, do I think he should be on the ballot? No, I don't. I don't believe that at all. From what happened on January 6th, I believe what else more do you need to see? Do you guys remember what that looked like? That was no tourist walk through they were climbing smoke bombs, poles, weapons. It was an insurrection, and Donald Trump led it. I mean, come on. If you can't admit that, you're not being honest with yourself. You're really not. Should he hold office again? Definitely. Absolutely not. I mean, what more does somebody have to do to try to overthrow or insurrect the Constitution? If that's not insurrection, then what is? It's scary to think if people aren't going to call that insurrection, then what level does it have to get to call insurrection? So when I saw this morning, I was wondering how the Trump supporters would start. And the funny thing is, they're not even really talking about it all that much. Vivek Ramaswamy says that now he's taking his ball and going home. If Donald Trump isn't on the ballot, then he doesn't want to be on the ballot either. Good, terrific, great. I hope the rest of them all follow suit, and that's couldn't be better. And then some Trump supporters saying they won't vote. Fantastic, terrific. Do I think, yes, I could be objective about this. If Joe Biden, if Bill Clinton, if Barack Obama did this exact same thing that Donald Trump did on January 6th, I would feel the exact same way, that they should not hold office. If a Democrat did that same thing, I would think, so I really try to be objective about this. So this is what Trump supporters are doing this morning. A lot of them are every couple of months, when things don't go their way, they start calling for civil war. And that's the thing now. It's probably trending on Twitter right now. Civil war. And this is I thought about this morning. And I don't think they really, I don't think like the traditional, like the last civil war we had, that was a big bloody mess, with thousands of deaths every day and tens of thousands of deaths in each battlefield. And I don't think that's what Trump supporters want. What I think Trump supporters are envisioning in their head is that they think that they're the only ones that have weapons and are armed. And that by doing a civil war to them is them going out in the yard with their whatever and taking control over people who don't agree with them, that aren't armed. That's what I think when they talk about civil war. That's what I think. That's what I think they're talking about. I don't think they're really all in for the going and shooting, going against their neighbor, their cousin, and stuff like their cousin that lives, in another state or believes a different, or their stepfather, or people that have different political opinions than them. I think they want to pull out their phallic symbols and take control, or it's an authoritarian attempt. It's an authoritarian fantasy. I think that sums up when Trump supporters talk about civil war. It's an authoritarian fantasy. That's the best way to sum it up. What they picture in their head is them going out, not firing a shot, just brandishing maybe a few rounds up in the air, maybe take out a few people they don't like, and then they have control over what people should read, what people, what religion people should be, how they should dress, what music they should listen to, what they should say and not say, how much they should work, how much they should pay taxes. It's an authoritarian fantasy. It is. Here's the scariest thing a Trump supporter ever said, that I ever heard a Trump supporter say. It was a guy I graduated high school with, and I used to hang out with this guy. And I was always amazed that people just like me, that I went to school with, other guys my age, similar music tastes, similar family, similar financial background. And I go one way, complete liberal Democrat, and they go the other way, complete Trump supporter. And this guy's idea was that if you don't have your own business and you don't have a certain amount of money in the bank, then you cannot vote. Then your say does not matter. If you don't have a large bank, it's like over $10,000 in the bank, or you don't own your own business, then you cannot vote. Your say doesn't matter. So you have basically what they want is a ruling class. They want an authoritarian society, a ruling class. Their ruling class saying what goes and what doesn't go. That's what they're fantasizing about. That's where we're at in the country right now. When they talk about civil war, I believe it's an authoritarian fantasy. So they could just get their way, and what they say goes. I don't know what's going on, why some people are like this and why some people aren't, but they are. And that's the video. I'm going to be back later today. I'm going to read all of your comments and see what the big hubbub was yesterday. All right, and I'm going to do another video later this morning probably. All right, stay tuned for that. Have a good Wednesday.